a bit of a wet morning. Nevertheless, there's a bit of a sunrise going on underneath the cloud. It's a week ago today that Dad passed away. Round about this time as well, actually. Morning. How beautiful is that? I don't know whether the camera's picking this up, but in the sun's reflection on the sand, you can see the rain pattering on the sand. It's a little bit windy. I don't think this brolly will do me any good, but I think we'll go for a walk on the beach, seeing as the tide's a bit out. Brilliant. The cloud's really low. That's rain that the rain's coming from. So Jeanette's gone home for a few days, gone back to her home in Halifax with her husband Mark, and they're preparing their house, readying their house to receive Mum after her Dad's funeral, and also just having a little break. So I'm in Filey with Mum, looking after Mum at the moment. Now, if you've been following this series, you'll be aware that my mum has Alzheimer's, and one of the most difficult things about dealing with Dad's death, especially for Mum, has been she's kept forgetting that he's passed, and upwards of 5 times a day she's gone through the remembering process and had an emotional meltdown. And to some degree that's desensitised me, I feel, to what's happened to Dad and to my grieving process, but that can't be helped. But I have noticed a change over the last couple of days, whereby initially she would completely forget what happened. Whereas now the dialogue's changed to, I've just remembered what's happened, but I keep forgetting. And oddly enough, that's not dissimilar to the way I think everybody kind of goes through these things, because there's odd little triggers, odd little things that trigger memories, and those can be emotional, evoking the feelings of loss. But yeah, that is a notable change. I think it has helped having quite a few sympathy cards dotted around. In fact, she took all of those down last night and read them. She went through them, and she was okay, actually. She was a little bit emotional, but I think it's helped her to know that he was, popular and cared for, and that she is too. It's difficult, because a part of her is also saying she doesn't want to leave Filey because of the familiarity, and she doesn't want to leave the house because of the familiarity. You know, they've been in the house for 50 years. And that's completely understandable. But in the same breath, she's not safe to be left on her own. She's a risk with her medication in terms of taking too much, that kind of thing. Hello. Wants me to play. We're playing Kick the Stone. Morning. And yeah, as I say, that's completely understandable. And oddly enough, we keep reminding her that that's exactly what she did with her mother, my grandmother, because when my granddad passed, my grandmother was not totally incapacitated, but she was incapable of living on her own. She'd had a severe stroke, at least one, I can't remember whether it was one or two at the time, and while she was compos mentis, she wasn't capable of being on her own. And Mum's very much in the same vein. And unfortunately, decisions do have to be made that take care of her. So yes, there will be some resistance, and that will be a challenge. Quite a few dog walkers around today. I think because we're in the lockdown, quite a few people are getting out early. Hopefully the lockdown will have stopped all the idiots coming through to Filey and thinking it's okay to travel thinking it's okay to travel multiple 100 miles or whatever to go and walk on the beach. People from tier 3 coming to tier 2, as was, until this complete lockdown happened. On a personal note, I've lost a few customers who've used this as an opportunity to permanently change things, and I've had a few people so far say keep coming, and a few people say don't come but we'll still pay you, because we just want to stay safe but keep the service rolling for after the lockdown, keep me afloat, which is very nice, very kind. I don't know whether I've got the time to do it today. I probably have, but I want to have a walk along to Primrose Valley, I think, which, if you can see up ahead, is roughly a little bit beyond that white building. I'll just quickly show you why these cliffs in Filey can be really dangerous with them being clay. Are you ready? You just grab a nice stone. Lovely, eh? Let's do another one. Because if you go climbing these at the wrong time, you can end up sunk in the mud. Which takes me back to being a kid and being at hospital with my mum and Barry Laycock, one of the ambulance men, came towards us, one of Dad's colleagues, and he was absolutely top to tail covered in mud, and they'd been dragging somebody out who was injured. So there's your health and safety warning for today. Be careful on Filey Cliffs. The rain's eased up at the minute, which is good. Although, when you look behind me, it looks like there's more to come. Still that beautiful sunrise over there. The sun is just above Bempton Cliffs at the moment. just going back to what I've been saying about Mum, one of the things I've done today, I left her in bed with a cup of coffee and some biscuits, and she's had a morning medication, and I've left a couple of notes dotted around just explaining that I'm not in at the moment and that I've gone for a walk and that I'll be back soon. And I've left one upstairs on the banister if she comes downstairs, and I've left one downstairs in the kitchen near the kettle. Because she might very well get very confused if she happens to get up and get herself dressed and come downstairs and find there's nobody around. And that will cause her considerable distress. Morning. Oh, just going to flip the camera around because we've got a seal carcass here. And in fact, looking at that, it does actually look like it's been caught and killed. There's a cold wind coming off the sea. Well, breeze more than anything. And I am at this moment in time just approaching my destination for the day, for this walk. And yeah, I'm just approaching the valley that drops down from Primrose Valley. I'll flip the camera around so you can see. There we go. As you can see, there's a land drain there. Quite a bit of water flowing out of it. I think we'll just cross here. We're not going much further. I haven't been here for a long time. And up there, we used to walk along the beach from Filey, which is over there. And as kids, our parents would bring us along here and we'd walk up here and we'd go to Butlins. Butlins! My dad had free passes. Flip the camera back around, hang on. Yeah, my dad used to get free passes for Butlins. Big driftwood. And with him being on the emergency services, it was something that was given to all employees of the emergency service in Filey, which was quite good. So we used to pop up and have some fun at Butlins when Butlins was still a thing in this area. There's some nice bits of driftwood knocking about. I'm not going much further. And I'm going to end this recording soon. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Mum this morning and about some of the hardships that we've got and that she's facing at the moment. I don't know whether you can see this, but there's ice on the cliffs. That's how cold it's been. Okay, so I'm turning back. As I say, thank you for watching. If you have any experience with Alzheimer's, especially when it comes to grieving, it'd be interesting to know what your thoughts are and how you've dealt with it. By the time I upload this, the funeral will have happened, and the reason I say that is because I'm not at home at the moment. I don't have access to my PC in order to prep everything, so there will be a lag on all of these uploads regarding my dad. There was anyway, because there was a lot of footage, but I managed to get caught up to the end of November. But now having been in Filey for over 3 weeks. There's considerably more footage to process and upload. What I will just show you before I go, and I believe these are remnants from World War II. There's a lot more further along, pillboxes that have dropped down from the cliffs, observation points where the seas were watched for vessels coming in and so on. Actually no, I don't think this is one. The brickwork's a little bit too modern. I'm not actually sure what this one is. I mean, it is old and it's been down here a while. But it's some structure that's come down from the cliffs. Anyway, as I say, thank you for watching. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like if you like this. And as I say, if you've got, in fact, to be honest with you, any advice for helping somebody with Alzheimer's, it would be gratefully received. Just drop a comment, and I'll see you soon. Cheerio.